Chapter 82. Creating something out of nothing. Silver Moon City. Within a tea house. At the moment, a group of the city's people were here drinking tea and chatting. Although Ying has 3 households, the death of Jin will be Ying. You guys know that, right? I have seen with my own eyes that the words on that stone tablet are dripping blood. A man in yellow said, "Really, the words are dripping blood. It's man-made, isn't it?" The officials have been checking, but it's been half a month, but there's no news at all. Thumbs down. A clown who wants to stir up chaos. It's too easy to think. Yeah, I don't know who instigated it. Just kidding, who would rebel? You guys still don't disbelieve it. This talk of rebellion is not an empty cave. The Great Ying Dynasty, you guys probably don't know about it. That was King Liu Yang's father's imperial dynasty back then. At that time, there was no Great Jin Dynasty. Oh. In the past, Yingzhou was the territory of the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty. Back then, His Holiness had just started, compared to King Liu Yong, but it was far worse. King Liu Yong was the only prince of the Great Ying Imperial Dynasty. Oh, are you saying that King Liu Yong wants to claim back what he deserves? In your place, wouldn't you be angry? Back then, if King Liu Yong didn't tie the knots with the Great Jin Sage, nowadays there is at least one Imperial Dynasty R. Nowadays, the Great Jin Sage not only didn't promise King Liu Yong to sit together in the world, but even more so, he only sealed a title, which is not as good as an Imperial Dynasty Great Emperor. You mean, the slogan of this rebellion is King Liu Yong? The tea house steeply fell silent. A thief shouting to catch a thief. The discussion in the tea house came to a screeching halt. Many people thought they had guessed something and suddenly turned worried. A great chaos is coming. The news reached the city lord's mansion. Sima Changkong and the divine martial king listened to their subordinates reporting the news. They had poked around. Oh, the people are pointing the finger at King Liu Yang. Divine martial king frowned. Yes, although it's only a part of the people guessing, but the general direction of the guesses is that King Liu Yong wants to rebel. That subordinate respectfully said. Sima Changkong said, with a faint burst of bitter laughter, "I forgot. Your Highness, I forgot the difference between the people's thinking and our thinking. When we got this news, our first reaction was that someone had framed King Liu Yong. It was impossible for King Liu Yong to go and write these rebellious slogans, even if they were rebellious slogans. There is no need to spend more brain to think. There is a mainstream interpretation on the line. Why think about more complicated things when you can just guess that it's the king of Liu Yang? Besides, even if you think about it, you won't be able to figure it out." Then, when everyone around them guessed that it was King Liu Yong, they themselves believed that it was King Liu Yong. Only a small number of people thought further ahead, but were buried by the mainstream thought. If that's all it is, it's not useful. The people guessing. That's only a small portion of the people guessing. The majority of the people aren't taking it seriously are. This bit of rumor, trying to shake King Liu Yang, won't work. Empty words cannot be used as evidence. King Shenwu said in a deep voice, "If it were me, I would have the next method. Send people to all the cities in Yingzhou to create momentum in the dark, to continue slandering King Liu Yong. But that would require powerful manpower and material resources. And the city masters of all the cities are grasping very tightly, so once they continue to create momentum, they will surely be arrested, with numerous deaths and injuries, and it would require a great price to pay to do so. But what does Gu Hai have now? Both hands are empty. What else can he turn out?" Sima Changkong frowned. "Let's wait and see." The divine martial king smiled faintly. Exterminating false city. News from all directions continued to converge on the Liu Yang king's mansion. In the study of the king's mansion, a group of strategists kept analyzing the incoming reports from the 4 directions. It's the Lu Shi people, but just can't catch them. It's been half a month, That bunch of losers. They haven't given this king a proper name until now. King Liu Yang said in a deep voice. Broken Army's ear, able to hear, is the footstone people, but the people do not know, or the people do not know will guess blindly, and then their own back this backpot. Your Highness, we have already sent people to send a message over. The city lords of each city, make every effort to arrest the rumormongers, and make sure to give your Highness a clean slate, a strategist solemnly said. King Liu Yang's face was gloomy. His heart was very upset. This kind of shitty planting of evidence, a smart person could see through it at a glance, but, on the contrary, he was given a successful rumor. Turning to him, King Liu Yong looked at Mo Yike. Mo Yike, however, frowned in deep thought. Mr. Mo, do you have an idea? King Liu Yong said suspiciously. The group of strategists looked at Mo Yike together. Mo Yike shook his head and said, Actually, I don't really care much about these rebel slogans. Oh, the crowd was puzzled. King Liu Yang's expression moved, and his gloomy face soothed. Indeed, a matter that the people don't pay attention to. How long do you think the people will remember it? What can that group of Liu Shi people do if this king doesn't admit it? To the side, Mo Yike was still frowning. What else is Mr. Mo worried about? King Liu Yong smiled at Mo Yike. Mo Yike gently shook his head and said, According to today's situation, it's already the limit. After half a month of rumor mongering, it's about time. If we continue to rumor monger, it'll be counterproductive. I'm thinking, what will Gu Hai do next? According to his information, if he sets up a plot, it can't be that simple. Oh, has Mr. Mo thought of that? King Liu Yong said suspiciously. Mo Yike shook his head. I have ways to continue building momentum. But what does Gu Hai have today? There aren't enough manpower and material resources. All the major city lords are dead set on guarding. It would take countless dead soldiers to do that, but Gu Hai has nothing. How is he going to do it? Grandpa. Found it. Young Master Un's excited voice suddenly came from outside the study. King Liu Yang's eyes went cold. HMPH. A cold snort caused the excited young master and outside the study to jolt. The excitement suddenly dispersed, and he became terrified. I said that no one is allowed to disturb me while I'm in the council. Luan, how dare you? King Liu Yong said in a cold voice. Grandfather, my grandson doesn't dare. I just had great good news and got carried away for a moment, wanting to report it to Grandpa at the first opportunity. Grandfather, forgive me. Outside the study, Luan said with fear and trepidation. Great good news, come in and say it. King Liu Yong said in a deep voice. Luan immediately entered the study in fear and trepidation. Grandpa, just now, the faux stone man appeared again, and was seen by the entire city when he was writing the rebellious words. Now, everyone knows that it was Huang Fu Chaoj who started the rumor. Oh, King Liu Yong was slightly stunned. The tallest mountain outside the city, the one that the whole city can see. Earlier there was a huge rattling noise coming from it, and when Mr. Broken Army heard it, he probed his hand and pointed, and a spell light shone through, just in time to see a foothill stone man, carving words on the mountain wall, just carved to the year in the Aussie. Under the spell illumination, everyone saw it. Luan said excitedly. So, it doesn't matter if we catch it or not. The faux stone man himself exposed his identity, a strategist said excitedly. King Liu Yong smiled faintly. Mo Yike frowned slightly, as if he was talking to himself. Is this a coincidence? What? Young Master and said in disbelief. Mo Yike was silent for a moment and said, Send people to investigate with all their might. Besides our Foxtrot extermination city, are there any traces of the Foxtrot stonesman found in other cities as well? It can't be such a coincidence, right? This is just a coincidence on our part. Young Master and laughed. Mister's words are my words, King Liu Yong said in a deep voice. As Mo Yike had guessed, almost at the same time, in the 100 cities of Yingzhou, near the same time. In the most conspicuous places, the people saw the Lushi man. All of them saw the footstone people carving words, creating a rumor. They were writing words of rebellion. All the major cities were in an uproar. Silver Moon City. It's the faux stone man. Look, on that huge hill. Spells are illuminating there. Quick, quick. This faux stone man is really looking for death. Looking for the place with the most people. Carving words. Ha 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 ha. So, it's not King Lu Yong who rebelled. It's the faux stone man. The faux stone man of the Divine Foothill Dynasty. The Divine Foothill Dynasty planted evidence to frame King Lu Yong. This is all a rumor. King Lu Yong didn't even think of rebelling. It was the Divine Foothill Dynasty that sowed discord. Ha ha ha. This is going to be a joke. Is Huang Fu Chaoj crazy? How could King Lu Yong rebel? Yes, my Dojin Heavenly Dynasty will always be Dojin Heavenly Dynasty. How could it be replaced by an Imperial Dynasty? In all directions, countless people were talking. Although they didn't catch the faux stone man, but countless people were suddenly enlightened. The city lords of various places, however, were quick to organize propaganda to clear King Lu Yang of the frame-up. In various cities and towns, near-simultaneous notices were released, and at the same time, they continued to whitewash King Lu Yong. The talk of the people instantly switched directions. Silver Moon City. Amongst the tea houses of yesteryear, Wang Fu Chaoj is too sinister, causing me to almost think that King Lu Yong had rebelled. Yes, it's all a conspiracy of the Divine Foothill Dynasty. How could the king possibly rebel? Your Highness let the Prince of Peace go and do a rebellion. How can that be? Who dares to offend the heavenly majesty of his majesty? What a joke. Wang Fu Chaoj actually sent someone to start a rumor. Ha 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 ha. NY Great Jin Dynasty. How can there be civil unrest? Yes, a heavenly dynasty is a heavenly dynasty. It will never be overthrown by a not yet established imperial dynasty. Isn't that a joke? I am a person of the Great Jin Heavenly Dynasty. The Great Ying Imperial Dynasty. How many years ago? What's it got to do with me? The voices of the people's discussion traveled to the city lord's mansion. King Shen Wu and Sima Changkong added to their subordinates' report. Was it a mistake by the foothillsmen? Divine Marshal King frowned. Yes, since they planted evidence to frame King Lu Yang, there's no reason to dismantle themselves. Was it a mistake? Or did Gu Hai do it on purpose? Sima Changkong was also in deep thought. Your Highness, Your Excellency, now that the Foshi man accidentally exposed his tracks, he has become the laughingstock of the whole city. All the people are taunting Wang Fu Chaoj for being ungrateful. That reporting subordinate laughed. The laughingstock of the entire city, all the people. Sima Changkong, however, abruptly shrunk his pupils. It means that Gu Hai's knife is already at King Lu Yang's throat. It's just about to be inserted, Sima Changkong said in a deep voice. However, Gu Hai is now blowing his own shortcomings are. The exposure of the faux stone man is clearing King Lu Yong of all suspicion. What else can he do? Can this knife still be passed further? The Divine Marshal King frowned. Sima Changkong fell into deep thought. In the outside world, 100 cities and ponds simultaneously exposed the Lushi man's trail. The city lords of all the cities, the first to clear the suspicion of King Lu Yang, kept clearing the suspicion, making all the people make fun of the Divine Four Shire dynasty as a joke. In this way, the Four Shire man exposed his tracks to prove King Lu Yang's innocence, while continuing to quietly write words of rebellion, causing more and more people to laugh at him, until after 10 days had passed. Silver Moon City, City Lord's Mansion. Hiss, I see. What a sinister Gu Hai. Sima Changkong's pupils abruptly shrunk. Exterminating Foothills City, King Lu Yang's royal residence. Mo Yerka's face also changed steeply. Oh no, we've been tricked. We've been tricked by Guhai's poisonous plan. What a poisonous plan. Divine Foothills Dynasty. Outside Foothills God City. The valley where Guhai was. This is the end. The faux stone god looked blankly at Guhai. The faux stone god felt that the 200 or so faux stone men that were sent there hadn't done anything right, creating a rumor and then deliberately exposing their tracks so that the rumor would fail. What was this doing? What's the use? Guhai looked at the north and said in a cold voice, "It's already enough. The people's hearts have been moved. It's enough." This plan is called creating something out of nothing. There are 3 steps, divided into Shaoyin. Now that we have done the first 2 steps, the 3rd step, the sun, does not need to be done by us. King Liu Yang will help me complete the last step of this plan. The sun,